Today we're looking at some of the best credit card intro bonuses available right now. Whether you're looking for cash back, to fly, to stay at hotels, or something in between, there's probably something for you. Big favor before we dive into everything though is to give this a thumbs up to help with the algorithm. If you know someone that might benefit, then share this with them. Starting off, we have the Chase Sapphire Reserve. This is the best offer we've seen in almost 10 years. This is the last chance and it ends at 9 a.m. Eastern Time on August 21st, 2025. Intro bonus is pretty strong. You're going to earn 100,000 bonus points and a $500 Chase travel promo credit after $5,000 spent on purchases in the first 3 months from account opening. Depending on how you use the points, it can be worth different numbers. So for example, for cash back or as a statement credit, you're getting 1 cent per point. Pay yourself back is 1.25 cents per point. Points boost is up to 2x, so up to 2 cents per point. And then transfer partners is 1-to-1 typically, and value depends there. The latter is expert mode and what I'd personally do. That's pretty much how I've been able to fly first in business class for a fraction of the price, and ironically, it's probably the optimal way to do it. You have to be willing to do the homework, but if you are, you might be surprised. Also, if you have friends that have normal jobs and they're somehow taking fancy vacations, this is probably how. The card does have a $7.95 annual fee, but also a ton of credits that can either offset it or make it less painful. On a side note, if you want to run your numbers, we have a calculator that should pop up if you Google CSR, worth it, AskSebby. On that note, if you want to learn about cards, whether this one or pretty much any other card out there, and you want to support the channel, we have links on the website, AskSebby.com, and also down below in the description box. Make sure the links are competitive, that they make sense, but otherwise it's a huge way to support the channel, so thank you in advance. Next up is the new United Quest card. It's also the last call for this limited time offer, and technically the best offer ever. It ends at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on August 20th, 2025. Lots of good offers to close out the summer. You're going to earn 100,000 bonus miles and 3,000 PQPs, premier qualifying points, after you spend $4,000 in the first 3 months from account opening. Right off the bat, be careful with PQPs. These are not miles you can use to fly, they're for earning elite status. For example, 3,000 PQPs gets you halfway to Premier Silver. That's not to say that they're not useful, but it depends on where you're focused on. In my case, an extra 3,000 PQPs pushes me past 20,000. So right now, I'm about 10,000 PQPs from 1K, so 3,000 PQPs makes it a lot closer. For most people, the more tangible part are the 100K bonus miles. The best use case that I've used pretty often, and will probably use again in January to go skiing, is ANA business class to Japan. If you're okay with a bit of uncertainty, you can usually find availability 1 to 14 days out for business class. I'm filming this on August 14th, and there's I3, so 3 seats, for August 17th in 3 days for ANA through United. If I don't mind repositioning to Chicago, which is what we did last year ironically, then there's 4 seats and that's about 8 days out, so that would be an option as well. Availability is always in flux, but if you have some flexibility and ideally a few different currencies, then you can usually find something good. If you're over Japan, then there is a lot of business class space to Korea right now for the next 45 days or so. Even better is that with a United card, you actually get discounts. So let's look at that SFO flight to Japan that's 110K. Heading over to United for both the SFO to Haneda and SFO to Narita, it's 100K, meaning you save 10K or 9%. Fees are also negligible at $5.60. There is a $350 annual fee, but you also have a lot of credits that can help. Feel free to pause, but there's a lot going on. The most tangible ones to me personally are the United Travel Bank Cash, the Hotel and Resorts Booking Credit, and the Rideshare Credit. Depends on you, but you might be able to break even if you can use a few of these. Make sure to run the numbers to make sure that the math works out. Switching it up, we have the Capital One Savor Cash Rewards credit card. If you're a low spender, this is a great choice. You're getting a $200 cash bonus after $500 on purchases within the first 3 months. On top of this, you're also getting a $100 credit for flights, stays, and rental cars booked through Capital One Travel during your first cardholder year. This is a lot of value for not a lot of spend. Factor in that this is a no annual fee card and also one of the best earners out there. A big reason being the multipliers. So you get 3% back in grocery stores, 3% on dining, entertainment, and also popular streaming. On top of this, you get 5% back on hotels and rental cars through Capital One Travel. The card also has no foreign transaction fees, and cashback isn't just cashback. If you have other cards like the Capital One Venture or VentureX, then you can turn your cashback into miles. It basically means that you have a safe floor, but you have that travel upside if you decide to make that switch. If you want to keep it simple and want a one and done setup, the Capital One Savor is hard to beat, at least in the short term. Next up is the Capital One Quicksilver Cash Rewards Credit Card. This one is a bit more intro bonus focused, at least to me. It's the same cash bonus and also credit for Capital One travel with the same terms and limitations. This is no annual fee, but you're only getting 1.5% cash back as a flat rate. It's okay, but compared to other flat earners on the personal side, the hurdle rate is generally 2%. So for example, you effectively get that with the Citi Double Cash Card and the Fidelity Rewards Visa Signature Card. Depends on you, but for me, not much here outside of year one. Finishing up with this batch, we have the Capital One VentureOne Rewards Credit Card. This one kind of also falls into the same camp. It is a bit different in that you're getting 20,000 miles after 500 purchases within the first 3 months. That credit for travel through Capital One Travel with the terms is the same though. And reminder that you can turn 200 cash back from the saver to 20,000 miles with the right cards. So same idea as the other cards, but now you're forced towards travel, you don't have that optionality. The earn rate here is also pretty tough. So you're getting 1.25 miles per dollar on everything, and you also get 5 miles per dollar on hotels and rental cars via Capital One Travel. The latter being exactly the same as a saver, but the saver does a lot more. It's fine in year one if you're bonus hunting, but long term, I'd run a different setup. So for example, the Capital One Saver Cash Rewards Credit Card and Capital One Venture X Rewards Credit Card are a surprisingly robust duo that covers a lot of ground. I know some people, especially families, hate the update to the Venture apps. At the same time, just because something is no longer S tier and overpowered doesn't mean that it's still not good and viable. For example, last year LeBron had his lowest PER, player efficiency rating, since his rookie year. That doesn't mean he's a bad player. So even though he lost a step and isn't overpowered, he's still not bad. He's still top 10 for advanced stats. It turned from an amazing card to a very good card. Yeah, a bit of a tangent, but I felt like it was pretty obvious that it had to be nerfed. Last up, we have the Citi Strata Elite. The limited time offer, that's online at least, is 80,000 bonus points after 4,000 spend in the first 3 months. With this one, it might be worth shopping around. There is a $5.95 annual fee, but you get up to $300 as an annual hotel benefit, and this has to be hotel stays of 2 nights or more booked through Citi Travel each calendar year. You also get up to $200 as an annual splurge credit that you can use on up to 2 different brands, including First Dibs, American Airlines, Best Buy, Future Fitness, and Live Nation. This one's also based on calendar year. It depends on your math, but long term, you're looking at about a $95 effective annual fee. But yeah, discount is necessary for your situation based off how you value things, whether it's 0% discount all the way up to a 50% discount. In year one though, it is a bit different and the calculus kind of changes, mostly because the credits are based off calendar year. That means that if you get the card now, or let's say in Q4, you have the rest of 2025 to use the up to 300 and the up to 200 credit for 2025. Once the calendar year rolls over, so let's say January of 2026, you can use the full up to 300 and up to 200 for 2026. So in theory, in year one, you're getting extra value because of how it's structured. The year after that, it's back to normal. Feel free to pause, but hopefully this makes sense. If you get the card now, for that first annual fee, you're getting the 2025 and 2026 credits that you can fully use, and you associate it with that first fee. That means that you would associate the 2027 credits with that second fee, and so on. This basically means that in year one, it makes a lot of sense. This is not accounting for Citi Gold or Citi Gold Private Client, which means that you get a relationship credit, which makes it even more viable. This pretty much means that you have a year to test drive the card. One of the big draws being the multipliers, especially the 12x on hotels, car rentals, and attractions booked through their portal, and also 6x for dining, so Friday and Saturday from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Eastern Time. 12x for travel and 6x for dining is pretty absurd. For the Citi bonus, you have that same floor value, but you also have upside, and the best partner right now is probably American. I'd recommend checking out Seats Era for availability, that's my go-to tool, and you have a few different options depending on where you want to go. One of the fanciest options is probably Etihad First Class, and pretty good value from JFK to Abu Dhabi for 115k points. It does depend on the product, but if you are getting Etihad Apartments, which is one of the first class options, then it's one of the best hard products out there and one of the best ones you can redeem with points. I guess you could also argue Emirates Game Changer and Singapore Suites as well, but easily top 3. For a lot of people, it's top 2 and it's not 2. If you don't have other Citi points and you still want to do a first class redemption, then I consider Japan. So 80k points and less than $7 gets you Japan Airlines first class from Chicago to Haneda, Tokyo, and it's pretty great value. This is going to be their new first class product, and there's typically one seat available for points every day. I haven't flown this one yet, but it's on my list for January when I go skiing, and it looks pretty snazzy. Bonus 2 is that Japan Airlines, in my experience, tends to have a better soft product and experience than ANA. So I have flown the old Japan Airlines first, and even then, that one was pretty amazing. To me, a first class flight for hitting one intro bonus that I could allocate my rent or tax payments to is great value. Also, the fact that I've happily bought miles for 1.8 cents per mile to redeem in this way in the past. The intro bonus, how the credits work, and how Citi historically has been pretty chill with downgrades makes it a card that's worth trying to me. You're getting a ton of value for that one annual fee, and you have optionality. Again, if you want to learn about cards, we have links on the website, AskSebby.com, and also down below in the description box. As always, means a ton, so thank you in advance. Also, if you're curious, all legal affiliate disclosures can also be found below in the description box. If you made it to this point, leave a sushi emoji in the comments down below, and I'll try to heart it and also respond. So yes, I am planning my Japan trip right now, and I have sushi on my mind. 3 questions: what intro bonuses are you working on? What cards are on your list? And also, how do you redeem your cash back, miles, or points? Let me know and everyone else know in the comments down below. Big favorite, thumbs up, share this, but otherwise hope you liked it. See you next time.